Tiffany.
And I'm Mary Beth.
Welcome to Turning Pages.
Today we're going to talk about a very important topic of how to give and receive constructive criticism.
Yeah, and we're going to kind of put it in the context of when you're in a writing group, a critique group, which a lot of writers find extremely beneficial and can really help bolster places where you're stuck and give you ideas. Belonging to a critique group can have a lot of positive effects on your writing.
If the critique group is right for you.
Right.
And don't be scared to think that it's not, because they're not all right for you. And that doesn't mean that everybody in your group has to write the same genre, only be writing YA if that's all you're writing. It can be helpful if that's all you have. But it's nice to hear from other individuals with different aspects and the likes as well.
Yes, and it's also good to have an opportunity to read your work aloud. Yes. One of the things that, I tell my students even is that when you have finished something, put it aside, and when you come back to it, read it out loud. You will find errors and typos and word misuses that you did not even see coming. So reading it out loud is an important thing for an author to do. And the critique group allows, multiple pairs of ears. But remember, all ears are not created equal.
Right.
And so you have to go into that as the writer, not having, an ego, not having thick skin. Not having thin skin.
Yeah.
And being open to understanding these are people's perceptions of your work, and you have to know have a sifter what needs to stay and what needs to go from the comments that you ultimately get. So we're going to talk about how do you be the person giving the feedback? What should you be looking for?
Okay, so when we go to critique groups, a lot of people will print out their work so that you can follow along. And it's nice if people are going to add commas and little things like that. But one thing you really want to do is you want to look for the good, because there's got to be something. I don't care how poorly something is written. You've got to a turn of phrase somewhere. You got to
a metaphor.
What a character does. Something. So find that good thing, because everybody deserves to hear something good about their work.
Remember, as much as you love what you've done, the people bringing their work to the group love what they've created as much. And so you want to be respectful of the creative soul that has brought that work there.
Right. And you may find that difficult.
Sometimes it is.
I once had an experience with somebody who brought work that was already self-published, and they really just wanted to get other people's opinions. They weren't willing to change anything. They went as far as to tell me that grammar doesn't matter. So I'm not really sure how to respond to that.
In bowling, grammar doesn't matter. But in writing, grammar still matters.
Always matters. I don't care if you find a book from, one of the big 6 or big 5, whatever they are now, and you find a mistake. Mistakes happen. That doesn't mean grammar doesn't matter. It means mistakes happen. But still, I had to find something nice to say to him. So I did. I liked a certain turn of phrase that he used to describe his character was dealing with roses and things like that. And I thought it was nicely written. It was even grammatically correct. But then I had to go in and say, grammar is an issue. And there are a lot of places in here where you can fix things. And then I followed it up with another nice comment. So we sandwich the criticism
that is constructive,
right, with
some
positivity.
And this just helps to kind of pad the fall, if you will. You have to remember, though, some people are not open to being critiqued. They are only there because either they don't have anything else to do, or they would like their ego stroked. Right. Look at them, they wrote something, yada, 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 whip-de-dam-do, right? And, we've had that experience, recently where people are coming there and they're almost like being hyper defensive, and it's not fun for anybody.
No, and I understand your work is your baby, but if
your baby bites me, I'm going to pat him on the butt, right? Yeah. And sometimes the work, and look, you have to be honest with yourself as a writer. Why are you going to a critique group? Sometimes you may just go to a group and then realize this person or this person or this person has something beneficial to add, and groups spin off, or you can become, you know, writing buddies or critique partners with somebody. Right. It's really just important that the writer doesn't retreat into the lonely mind of the writer where everything is fantastic and they're not open to being, you know, receptive to what people have to say. Not that you're changing every little thing.
Right.
You know, sometimes even if you've done a good job of building that world, you get stuck on one or two words. It just helps. As I remember Mary Beth, when I was writing, like 2 years ago, the book that I was working on, I just kept saying the same word over and over again, and she had a fresh perspective on other words I could use that I was in a rut and I didn't. And so it's not personal. And, and you know, critique groups, they do work, but you have to be willing to put in what you're going to take out of it as well.
Right. If you're going to be easily hurt, then maybe you're not ready. And also, it's, you know, you don't have to take every criticism
and go home and change your whole work.
Because you're the author. It's your work. It's your idea. It's your world. So if somebody says to you, oh, I don't think your character would do that, you know the character better than they do. So you politely say, okay, you know, thanks for your feedback, but you know you're going to go home and you are not going to make the change that they suggested because that's not
right. You've done the development in that character. Right. You know, that's why we say that it could be beneficial as the writer to have people outside of your genre having that. But then there are times where, because we particularly write YA, where you go, oh, no, you have to understand the teen character in a way that the audience is going to appreciate what the character is going through, and you just kind of have to know yourself a little bit. But there are ways to tell a person that they can work on, you know, and sometimes it's a tense change that can alter the whole perspective of a story. So you always want to be open, like, okay, yeah, you're going to be looking for the things that stand out. Oh, you're overusing this word. Or the character's dialogue is not realistic.
Or you change your point of view in the middle of a paragraph. You know, those kinds of things are important, but easy to fix.
Right. So we kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about the critique group experience, because maybe you're in an area where you've got a great writing community, and congratulations for that. Maybe you're still looking. My advice to you is to try out a couple of them. Be open, talk to people, exchange emails. You never know kind of what can come out of that, and just keep yourself, like, don't be so easily offended.
Yeah, I will say too, if you're looking for a good critique group and you happen to do NaNoWriMo every November, if you get out to the write-ins, you can find a lot of people there who are willing to get together, who want to find other people to,
and who know how to put in the work,
be writing buddies or be critique partners. So you don't have to necessarily look for one that's pre-made. You can make your own. I find, unfortunately, in our community, there are not a lot of young writers that come out. A lot of the writing groups meet during the day because they are older, retired people who have all the time to meet during the day while we still work.
While we're working.
So, you know, you have to find one that works for you, and if you can't find one, then you make one.
Yes, absolutely. Just like you're creating your work, you can create your world that, you know, the people that you bring into that work.
And even though writing is a very solitary kind of thing, your support group doesn't have to be. You don't have to do it alone. You can sit and write by yourself, but the rest of it, the editing, the, you know, working on your blurb, the promotion, all that, you need other writers.
Absolutely.
You need their input, you need their support. So don't alienate yourself and think that, oh, I'm the lonely writer.
Yes.
And I need to be by myself with my bottle of wine or my Yoo-hoo and just write, and nobody can bother me, and I can't show anybody until I try to send it out.
It's never going to feel 100% perfect. It's never going to feel 100% polished. You know, I read something a while ago about how Stevie Wonder will, like, throw whole albums out because he doesn't feel like the songs are good. I mean, maybe not now, but back in the day. So, and I know that as writers, sometimes we go, oh, it's not there yet, but trust me, if you finished it, congratulations. Send it off to your friends. Let your trusted critique partners see what you've done, and, you know, and they can shine it up and make it the diamond that it is.
And give them time. I have to admit that I'm so bad when it comes to that, and it's just because life is busy, but I'm totally into it, and when I critique something, I really dig into it. So give them time, be a little patient, but don't be afraid to nudge them too, because sometimes we need a nudge.
You gotta read my stuff.
I will. I can read it quick. If you need me to delve into it, that's going to take longer.
No,
but reading it, I can get it done for you quick.
Well, we thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear about your critique group. Did you start one? Have you found one? Are you still looking? And what is the most important thing to you in Critique Partners? We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment
below, please.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Keep turning those pages.